It might be time to turn off Monday Night Raw for good. We thought it was bad enough when they were boring us to death with countless female matches and segments, pushing this women's movement with their own agenda, trying to make the women equal to the men, and last but certainly not least, pushing Damage Control, having them ruin 3/4 of Monday Night Raw. But now it could get worse. The WWE are thinking about implementing another female title. They want another female championship on their show. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. This is some really bad news, but somebody has to break it to you. So Raquel Rodriguez has expressed recently that she wants another championship for the women to fight over, specifically a mid-card title that would be similar to the Intercontinental Championship / United States Championship. Now, Bayley has also gave her 2 cents on this. I say 2 cents because that's all Bayley's worth, to be honest. And Bayley said, and I quote, "I mean, it wouldn't hurt." Right, end the quote right there. It fucking would hurt. It would hurt my eyes. Nobody wants to see it. It would be another piss break, another bathroom break. It 100% would hurt. It would hurt all the viewers. It would hurt all the product. It would hurt all the ratings. It would hurt everything. Having all these women's titles that don't mean shit. There's not enough good women. There's not enough top tier women in the WWE to go around the titles that they have. And these idiots want to bring in more titles. For what? For what? Right, let's go back to Bayley's quote here. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would be nice to have another title. I think it's just going to take time. When we wanted those women's tag team titles, it took a long time. And it took someone actually fighting for them. If that's what we want, someone has to stand up for it and really fight for it and prove that it's going to be a benefit for the division. End of quote. It wouldn't be a benefit for the division, and it wouldn't be a benefit for the WWE. It would just be a stupid idea. It would just be an excuse to put another female out there and put a meaningless title on her. Like, who the hell would care? I mean, the IC title and the United States title don't mean shit at the moment, and they've got like a long history. They've got like a great prestige. They've got years and years of history. So many legends have held those titles. If they just bring out new female titles, they ain't going to mean jack shit. And the people holding them are going to be shit. So therefore the titles are never going to get, they're never going to be high up. They're never going to be valued or anything like that. This is a fucking horrendous idea. The women's division's bad. Why don't you focus on actually making the women's division better? Look at the titles. It's the same people that hold the titles. It's the same. Each brand has got like the same 3 or 4 women that the title juggles between. Instead of bringing out new titles that don't mean shit, why not try and push the women that don't have the championships on Raw or SmackDown? Why not try and elevate them up before you want to, bring in more worthless titles? This is a horrendous idea. And let's take that out of the equation. Take that out of the factor. I actually preferred it when there was one women's title. I remember growing up in the Attitude Era, or maybe not so the Attitude Era, but the Ruthless Aggression Era. They had the brand split, and you had the Women's Championship, and the Women's Championship was on Raw. And I always felt when the Women's Championship was on Raw, they always put like the women that were like slightly more serious about wrestling, the women that were slightly better at wrestling, the women that actually wanted to wrestle, they put them on Raw. And the women that were used more as valets, as managers, as like just general personalities would be on SmackDown. So on Raw, you normally had the likes of Trish Stratus, Lita, Victoria, Molly Holly, Gail Kim, people like that. In SmackDown, you had the likes of Tori Wilson, Sable, Stacy Keibler. And the likes of, Tori Wilson never complained. She never bitched about, oh, I'm on the blue brand and they don't have a title for me to compete for. She didn't give a fuck because she knew what she was. She was Tori Wilson. She was the hottest bitch in WWE, or at least one of them. She didn't need to cry about a fake title that wasn't on her show because she was Tori fucking Wilson. She was more popular than some, idiot wrestler that held a title on the other brand. And I think that's when wrestling was at its best. Then they brought out the Divas Championship, they put that on SmackDown, and that was like fair enough, okay? If you want to have one belt on each show for the women, I can understand it. I don't think it's necessary. I like the fact that Raw had the women and SmackDown had the cruiserweights, but if you want to have a women's belt on each show, then I guess it's not the end of the world. But now they want to plague the company with women's belts. They want, if there's 10 male titles, they want 10 female titles. If there's 100 male wrestlers, they want 100 female wrestlers. If there's 10 men matches on the show, they want 10 women's matches on the show. But the problem with that is the women fucking suck. We don't want the women. It's okay in small doses. It's okay, in bits and bobs when you have a couple of quality female women. But when most of them suck and you're trying to push them 50% the same as the men, it just doesn't work. Could you imagine all these errors in the past? Could you imagine if you had to take away, a large majority of the male matches and just push females in there so that it was all equal and it was equality? Imagine that. Imagine all the WrestleManias in the past. You had to take out so many great matches. TLC, no, we can't have that because we need to have like fucking Jazz versus Nidia. I mean, who would have wanted to see that? Absolutely nobody. This whole women's movement is garbage, and unfortunately Triple H seems to be behind it more than Vince ever was. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying there's not a place for women in WWE, but their place isn't equal to the men. Anybody with a brain knows that. Anyone who's not a fucking simp knows that. You look at the women compete, and you look at the men compete, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. Anyway, that's my thoughts, guys. I do not want to see a women's middle tier title. I think it wouldn't be the death of WWE, but for me, it would be another nail in the coffin. And there's too many nails in this coffin, alright? We need to start taking the nails out the coffin instead of adding more in there. So I do not want to see, I never want to see another female title. If anything, I would take titles away. Tag team titles are irrelevant. I would take them away. If you desperately want tag team titles, then here's the solution. Take one of the female single titles away. Either the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship. Get rid of one of them, and then put whatever one. If you get rid of the SmackDown Women's title, then just put the tag titles on SmackDown. They're exclusive to SmackDown, and then Raw has the exclusive women's title. That means there's only one belt on the show, and that means it's more prestigious, and that would maybe elevate the women's division. But the more belts you bring in, you might think that's helping the women's division. Trust me, it's not. It's making it more worthless, and it's already fucking worthless. So that is the last thing they want to do. Anyway, let me know your opinions, guys. Let me know your comments down below. Catch you in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and that's it, man. Peace.